Hello, lads and ladies. My name is Jeb, and I'm a god of Barista, and welcome to my new stream video. Whenever you're watching this. Good thought. Yay! Yeah. Yeah, that is the thing that I needed. What the hell was the entire rest? Like hair? Weird. Anyways, I think I have an idea. Just gonna press here. Gonna get rid of that face. And we're gonna keep 8. Yeah, let's start with that one. Copy. Paste. Okay. Two.
Amuho.
Ah, nice. Like to edit mode. So what I need to do is make a... No, I need to do this. Okay. Need to make a cut and slide. No. Good. Edge. New cut and slide. Oh no, I have a better idea. Okay. Use that. This case, that entire thing, need to move it down with G. Okay. Go to here. Press here. Go on the loop cut and slide. Oh yeah. Edges. Loop cut and slide. Faces. 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 Okay, 1.2 is definitely too much. So I need to 1.1. It actually looks very decent. No. Edge. Good. Okay, 1.5 actually looks decent. Okay. Just gonna go to object mode. Press on that one. Copy and paste object. Gonna do the same thing here. Good. All right. Edit mode. Yay, nice. Okay, we're gonna here edge. Wait, first of all. Edge, loop cut and slide. No.
Guten Tag Drapo.
Hello, Extra. How are you doing? Edges, loop cut and slide. Face. Face.
I'm alright, just learning a deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! How's Blender going?
Well, apparently not as good as I hoped it would be. Copy object. Wait, no. Copy. Paste. And okay, that's really not what I wanted. Copy. Paste. Okay. Suck. What kind of deck are you currently learning? Because I recently rediscovered my... I recently rediscovered my Pendle
Raid Raptors
deck. And last time I told people about it, I was like, oh yeah, what kind of Pendle deck was it? And I just like, I don't know. Probably was one with a dragon on it because I love dragons. And I was right, it was one with a dragon on it. Raid Raptors. What is their specialty? It's an interesting question in this case. Edges. Blue cut and slide. Also, you have to explain these things to me like I'm a fucking idiot because I never really played Yu-Gi-Oh! At all, ever. Faces. Just yay! Yeah, you can already see the arms from my jacket, from my hoodie jacket. I am unnecessarily proud of it. I shouldn't be, but hey, it works. No, object mode. I did copy object, yes. Paste object. Okay. Do this again. 1. 1. 1. Okay. Looks a little excessive, doesn't it? But hey, do I look like I care? No, no. If you didn't answer no, then I'm very disappointed in you. Edit mode.
I mainly built it because I saw it was cheap and looked fun. I got bored by Sword Soul Raid Raptors revolve around using rank up magic cards to get to the big boss monsters like the Ultimate Falcon or Rising Rebellion Falcon. I know those are just names for you.
But I don't really know how they work, so can you blame me? So I now somehow have to create multiple faces and open the front, which is gonna be a little annoying. Edges. Edges, we cut and slide. Edges, we cut and slide. So edges, we cut and slide. Cut and slide. Well, the thing is, apparently, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is starting to become a little bit less annoying, to say it like that. Because Yu-Gi-Oh! Always unnecessarily confused me. Like, why are you where you are? Just don't. Just stop it. Get some help. Well, nice so far. Whoa, wait, that's interesting. I completely forgot that part existed. Okay, I think I should tune in here a little bit more. Let's say here. Add. Edge. You cut and slide. Oh no.
I don't think it's that confusing. Metas come and go where you either have no interaction with your opponent or it's a nice back and forth. Current one is decent.
Well, let me just say, it's not really the meta that confused me, it's everything else around it. And while every other game, every other card game had like very, very obvious rules that made sense when you just look at them, Yu-Gi-Oh! Just didn't. And I stand by that. My dumb example in this case is always Magic, because Magic tells you you have a number and you do this number. That's it. That's it. That's it. There's no big showy bullshit around. It just does what it says. That's it. That's it. But no, for some reason, Yu-Gi-Oh! Has always like 5 values that you have to somehow keep track of, and that are basically the equivalent of the Imperial system, but as a card game. And that annoyed me always so much. Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? I have to do something when it's 3 stars and not when it's 5 stars. What do you mean I have to do something when it's this amount of stars and not this amount of stars? What do you mean I have to do this and that when it's this and that? Where the fuck does the card tell me that ever? No, nowhere. Never. Magic says, yo, you pay free mana. You pay free mana. Yu-Gi-Oh! Says nothing, and then your opponent suddenly gets pissed because you didn't beat up his grandma when you summoned your goldfish of despair that has 5 stars or something. That's how Yu-Gi-Oh!
It's in the rule book. You can't normal summon level 5 or higher monsters without tribute.
Yeah, that's the thing. Why can you summon something without anything before that? What is the limit there? It doesn't make any sense that this level even exists. Do you know what I mean? That's why it is like the Imperial system to me. There is no reasoning why it is the way it is. It just is. Magic is just math, and that's it. Math is easy. Math is simple. I know. I'm a little. I have very intense feelings about it, but I have feelings about it.
It's alright, no stress.
Like, you have no idea how it is when you come from a card game. that literally tells you everything you need to know in order for it to work. And like the most basic information on the cards are always a given and they're explained. And even if not, they explain themselves. Playing Magic is either like playing a puzzle game or doing math. One of those. And I'm good at both, and I love doing both. But playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Is for me like trying to get to understand the Imperial system. And I know I said this like 3 times now, but that's just how it is. But that's the annoying part, because I like the game itself. Like, it is not a bad card game, I understand that. But it's really... It has so many arbitrary things that it only has to be showy. You know what I mean? It's like comparing normal parkour running to athleticism. I can do normal parkour running. Parkour is easy. Doing parkour, like in reality, is surprisingly easy. All you need to know is all you need to do is to understand how your body works on an athletic level, more on a basic athletic level. And then you can do the things that you need to do. And yeah, you have limits, but there are always ways to work around these limits. And it's like, I'm doing this, and suddenly someone wants that I'm doing figure skating. And I know how to run parkour, and I know many people who do figure skating can't do parkour, but I can't do figure skating for the fucking life of me, and I probably never will. You know, showy stuff that doesn't make any sense out of context. And stuff that only does the basic things that you need to know. But it's really interesting. But still, the card games look cool, and I know that the card game in itself is really interesting and complex, and I would love to learn it. But every time I try, it's like learning French again. And I stopped learning French because French didn't make any sense to me. I would really like to get my shoes on. But because the thing for see-through is literally black, I have no reason to do that, so I just keep my jacket on. So I have my jacket on. I kinda wanna do this. I don't know how good that would be. Like, I wanna add my floating hair. Should I do that? Oh, that's gonna be a little annoying. Yeah. Edges. You cut and slide. And honestly, let's just stick with it that way. Edges. Loop cut and slide. 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 Just loop cut and slide. Edges. Edges. Loop cut and slide. Edges, loop cut and slide. Edges, loop cut and slide. Edges. Whoa. No. No. We need to do one more loop cut and slide. I almost didn't see that one. Just all right. Almost got it. Okay. Faces. Oh, nice. Hey, it worked! Damn! Great. Edit mode. Edit mode. I just want to remove it. The hell? This is not what I wanted. Okay. Edges. Just want to get rid of these edges. Well, okay, now we got that. Okay, now that these things are done, what shall I do next? what am I gonna do next? I need this thing to at least move around, you know? Like when I'm having... the animation part that I have to think about. Dope sheet. Just go back to UV editing. Good, in theory, all I want is... At the moment, all I want is that this thing moves... Like, that the head moves around when I'm moving around, you know? So how do I do this? Render image. Render audio. Layout. Modeling. Is that part of scripting? Python Interactive Console.
Nice game. Obsessed with this game. Add me on Discord. Johnson 377.
I will not do that, because apparently you have no idea what I'm doing. Also, Discord is one of the most unsafe places in ever, currently. All I want is to get my community away from Discord, because they deserve better.
Yeah, we deserve better.
Masking, motion tracking. Damn, this is the part that I want to know about. Good. But also I need to fixate the hair to the face, because I can already see once I start things like motion tracking. Also, extra, did you manage to make a Stoat account yet? Also, what the fuck is that for a comment? Like, ah yeah, nice game, obsessed with this game. And I'm literally not even in a game. I'm literally streaming
You
Blender.
just reminded me, give me a sec.
I'm not even doing this for Minecraft. This is the skin that I already have in Minecraft. I'm trying to turn my Minecraft avatar into a Vtuber.
It worked now, I just had to use a different password as it didn't like the one I used.
Nice, but that's nice. Snap selection to... Okay. Yeah. Set origin. Apply. Oh, nice! Now it's one summit. Now it's one thing. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. Yay! Booyah! I'm the best! So extra, I'm gonna send you a private invite to the Stoat server then, okay? Cause you know I'm trying to get the core viewership slowly but surely to be in Stoat.
Sure thing.
Because I literally have no idea who on the server who is not part of the core viewership, as elitist as that sounds. I have no idea who of them are bots and who aren't. And so far, I sadly also don't know. Message. And I also don't know who just, you know, who actually wants to join, or who to come to the Discord server and who doesn't. I still need to set up some things, obviously, like that it automates, that I'm automatically get. Oh yeah. Morning. I still need to set up some things for, you know, safety shit and whatnot, but so far I don't know. Yo, Doodle, how are you doing? Motion tracking. Let's see if we can put something like that on there. Tracking?
What up, man? It's been a long time.
Mask.
Good, how you been?
Presentation. I'm good so far. No results found. Drop sheet graph.
Nice.
Scene, camera, background scene, movie clip.
So you started streaming again?
Oh yeah, a while ago. I had a small break the day before yesterday, simply because I didn't know what to stream in terms of game development. Yeah.
Hi Doodle. Extraceratops, hey what's up, how you been?
Delete. FX. Storyboarding. Sculpting. Masking?
So buddy, what are we building?
Well, I decided to learn Blender in order to learn the abilities I need to upgrade and to improve my actual Vtuber avatar. So I decided to start with something simple. I already did all the classic Blender tutorials. So I decided to continue making a small Vtube avatar.
That's so
basically.
Cool.
And that Vtube avatar in this case is just my Minecraft skin, basically. So all I want now is for this.
Did you sketch an art yet?
Not yet. Again, currently I'm just trying to get my Minecraft avatar to move. Cause I don't know if I'm gonna download
Haha,
this
got
now
it,
to
try
VRM.
it, you can learn it.
I mean, technically I've already sketched a lot of art. But not recently. Oh. User communities release.
No way I.
Get involved.
My man is learning you, that's crazy.
I mean, see, I already managed to make my jacket here. Like here, if I'm trying to hide that, how can I hide that? Well, let's just here. There's the normal arm under it, and there's the jacket arm. Like, I'm learning, slowly but surely. Just gotta take a while, because My ability to learn is very limited. Also, this thing here, don't like it. Get lost.
Doodle to digital, I've been fine. If you just want a base art I can help you, then you switch it to rigging.
Well, that's why we're here. We first need to learn how to rig in the first place. Rigging in Blender might be a little hard. That's currently the thing that's running in the background. Let winds carry. Our new Jacksepticeye video is out. It's 2 hours and 36 minutes. By the way, just so you know, did you see my definitely
Haha, my man, you are struggling.
Hello, lads and ladies.
really cool video here?
I hope you get it.
Check's mental note.
Video. Today we
I have some pretty funny moment in here, I think. What's my favorite funny moment here? I think my favorite funny moment is shortly, it's roughly around here. No, none.
Since when did you get the YouTube?
I'm currently even streaming on YouTube. Like here I'm live. I'm currently even streaming on YouTube. Like here I'm live. Your channel. But yeah.
Oh,
I
I
know.
never saw it, my bad.
Wait, there's one part that I actually think is really funny that I made. I think it's really funny. That's one of the aspects. That's one of the things. Yeah, I'm gonna show you one of my favorite moments in my very own video that I made.
Ow. Ow.
Go a little further. Here, quiet please, the birds are resting. Please do not shout or blow whistles. Quiet please, the birds are resting. Please do not shout or blow whistles near the aviary. I think it's fun. Wait, I have the weirdest. Yes, I want to trigger the birds on purpose. I don't know. I love unnecessary defiance. That's not the point why we're here. The point why we're here, actually, is we're gonna continue watching that one as background music. Whoa, you loud. But also, I wanna rigging Blender. Rigging for impatient people, Blender tutorial. Come on. Amateur setup. Why is nothing working at the moment? Come on, load the video. Experiencing interruptions? Find out why.
Rigging can get pretty complicated, especially as you get into more advanced topics like constraints and drivers, but maybe you only need something simple, or maybe you're just impatient. So here are some of the basics of rigging for when you want to get started fast. I'll be talking about two main rigging styles. One is a rig that deforms the model, and the second keeps each piece rigid and separated. For the first one, I'm using a character I made, but this will work for anything you want to bend and deform. Press Shift A to add an armature, and if you don't want your bones to be covered by the model, then you can go to Object Data Properties, it looks like a little running person, and turn on In Front. This is also where you can change the shape of your bones and show the names and axes. Then just select the armature, tab into edit mode, and you can select the head or tail of the bone, move them around with G, and extrude with E to place your bones. The thick end is the head, and that's where the bones will pivot from when you're in pose mode. I'll usually do the center of the body and then 1/2 if the model is symmetrical. You can get the bones close to the body by using snapping. I'll usually set it to face project and center. Then when you're moving around, you can hold Control to snap, and you can adjust it from there. This is good for shapes that get a little weird, like you could rig tree branches more easily this way. You can also Shift D to duplicate bones, parent bones with Control P, either connected or keep offset, and you can unparent or disconnect bones with Alt P. If your model is symmetrical, then select all of the bones that aren't in the middle and press Control F2 to batch rename. Set this to bones, this to set name, and suffix. Type period L and press OK. Now all of the bones on the left side of your character have a .L at the end of their names. This is important if you ever want to mirror poses. There's also an auto-naming option that does pretty much the same thing if you right-click. Now with all of those bones still selected, right-click and choose Symmetrize to copy all of the left side bones.
I already told you one of the reasons why I respect you, why I have more respect for you than other artists is because you listen to my thing that I'm not one, that I don't want art from other people. That doesn't change if it's on Twitter or on
Gotcha, man.
Twitch or on anything.
Over to the right. Tab back into object mode, select your model, shift click your armature, Control P, and choose Armature Deform with automatic weights. And you can do this if your model is multiple objects too. Just
Also, I already forgot everything that he said.
select all of the objects and then the armature last. This should add an armature modifier to your objects and also a bunch of vertex groups that have the same names as your bones. This is where the weight painting information is stored. And if at some point you mess up and want to start over, you can remove the armature modifier and delete all of the vertex groups with this arrow. Select the armature, press Ctrl Tab to go into pose mode, and start moving things around to test your rig out. If this gave you a good result, then this could be the end of the video for you. If you got an error that says bone heat weighting failed, that's because your mesh has too many overlapping parts. I'd recommend either remeshing it, doing retopology, or editing it to make parts not overlap. Or you can split the model into multiple objects and try applying automatic weights that way. Another common issue is deformation like this, which is caused by not having enough geometry. Like if you want a cube to bend and be all curly, you can't really do that with only 8 points. So try adding more loop cuts and then applying automatic weights again. It's also pretty likely that you'll get some deformation that looks wrong to you. This is the automatic approach after all, and you can fix this with weight painting. Whoa, don't leave yet. People love to joke about how scary or painful weight painting is, and they're right, but it's not as bad when you know a few tricks. First of all, you can redo automatic weights for your entire model or only for specific bones. Just go into pose mode and select the bones you want, then go back into object mode, select your model, and go into weight paint mode. Go up to weights and assign automatic from bones. Blender will remember what bones you had selected in pose mode and redo those weights. And this is nice if you don't want to start over completely. You can also try moving bones around and reapplying weights to get different results. If you have to do this a lot, I recommend going to edit and turning lock object modes off. Then you should be able to click on different objects in your scene. You can
To be fair, the only thing I understand so far is I can place these bones, and that influences how my thing
select from the outliner too, and Blender will remember what mode you were in last, so it's a lot faster. When your armature is in pose mode and your model is in weight paint mode, you should be able to Control click to select bones and view their weights. Shift click for multiple bones, and as usual, A to select everything and Alt A to deselect. Posing works in here too. And before painting, let's talk about settings I recommend using.
Hambony will save your life someday.
First is under Viewport Overlays, turn on Wireframe. You should use this especially if your model has a subdivision surface modifier on it, because the weights are only going to affect the points on the original mesh, and that's what this is showing. Next, go to Tool Settings, Options, and turn on Auto Normalize. This makes it so when you add weights to one bone, it will take them away from others, and you won't have multiple bones that are trying to control the same area. There's also a symmetry option here that could save you some time. And if you want to paint all the way through your model, then you have to turn on Projected under Fall Off, and turn off Front Faces Only under Advanced Brush Settings. Just be careful and make sure you change it back when you don't want it to work this way. Now you can start painting. Set the weight to decide whether you want to add or remove influence. Blue is 0 or no influence, and red is 1 or complete influence. And use F to change the brush size. You can also turn the strength down to adjust the weights a small amount at a time. If your painting is a little sloppy, then you can smooth it out by going to Weights and choosing Smooth, and then decide whether you want to smooth everything or only the bones you have selected. And when you're done weight painting, make sure to turn Lock Object Modes back on. If you want a more rigid result with no bending, then you'll need a different approach. The first way of doing this is by parenting directly to bones and avoiding weights altogether, but this only works if your model is made of a bunch of separate objects. Select one of your objects, then shift-click the armature and go into Pose mode. Select the bone you want to parent it to, Control-P, and choose Bone. Now that object should follow the bone when you move it. This gets pretty annoying when you have to do it over and over again, so you can use this add-on to make the process faster. You can get similar results using weights, and this also works if your model is only one object, unlike the previous way. And this is easier when you make bone names visible under Object Data Properties. Select your model and then your armature, Control-P, and parent with empty groups. Then select your model and go into Edit mode. There should be a bunch of vertex groups with the same names as your bones, and if you have a lot of bones, you can click this arrow to search by name. Then all you do is select the vertex group of the bone you want, select the body part by hovering over it and pressing L, make sure the weight is set to 1, and press Assign. And just like before, that piece should now follow the bone. This process is arguably even more annoying when you have a lot of bones, so here's a way that usually gets the weights pretty close. Go into Edit mode, press period, or go up here to change your pivot point to individual origins, then press S and point 1 to scale everything down to 1/10 of the size. Go back into object mode, select the model and then the armature and parent with automatic weights. Then go back into edit mode, select everything and scale up by 10 to return everything to its original size. This usually works for most of the model, but depending on the shapes you're using, you might have to clean it up with the more manual method that I showed before. Just make sure to remove the weights on the part you're selecting before you try to assign, otherwise you might get some overlapping weights. And to clear up small weight issues like this, you can try using this quantize option in weight paint mode and set it to 1. That should make all of the weights be either 0 or 1. Let's go into pose mode and rotate some bones around, then press I to insert a keyframe for the bones that you have selected. Change the pose and press I to insert another keyframe, and now it's animated. And if you named your bones the way I mentioned earlier, then you can copy a pose with Ctrl-C and mirror it with Ctrl-Shift-V. If you want to be able to pose by moving the ends of the limbs, the quick way is by turning on Auto IK under Pose Options. Then when you move your bone, you can use your scroll wheel to change the chain length. This is nice for quick and dirty animations, but for maximum control, you'll need to set up some real inverse kinematic constraints. That's what IK stands for. Select the armature and go into edit mode, and I'll set this up for the legs. So you can either create a new bone by extruding from the ankle, or you can just use the foot bone. If you make a new bone, make sure deform is turned off, so when you do the weights, it doesn't actually influence the mesh. Select that bone, press Alt-P, and clear parent. Then go into pose mode, select the IK bone, shift select the leg bone, press Shift I, and add IK to active bone. You should get a different result now when you move the IK bone, and the yellow bone should have a bone constraint on it. Not a regular constraint, the one with the bone on it. You can also add it from here if you don't use the shortcut Shift I. These options let you change the chain length. For legs, 2 or 3 is usually what you want. If your legs don't bend, try going into edit mode and moving the joints a little bit in the direction that you want them to bend. And if you want more control over where the bone chain is pointing, then you need a target bone, which is what this spot is for. Do this the same way we added the IK bone. Go into edit mode and extrude from the knee and Alt-P to clear the parent. I'll usually name this something with target in the name. Go back to the constraint, select the armature, then select the target bone. If your leg isn't pointing the right way, then change the pole angle. If you set all of this up on half of your model and name it properly with .L or .R at the end, then when you symmetrize, the IK constraints will copy over as well. So save yourself some work and do it from the beginning if you plan to do it at all. This video is supposed to be short, so I left a bunch of topics out like bone roll, drivers, shape keys, and other bone constraints. If you want to learn more about rigging,
So yeah, I definitely have to watch more then. Join. Join. How do I move that thing around again? Okay. Pulse armature. Add bone constraint. Data. Change shading animation. So, how do I add this again?
rigging can get pretty complicated, especially as you get into more advanced topics like constraints and Alt-P. If your model is symmetrical, then select all of the bones that aren't in the middle and press Ctrl F2 to batch rename. Set this to bones, this to set name, and suffix. Type period L and press OK. Now all of the bones on the left side of your character have a .l at the end of their names. This is important if you ever want to mirror poses. There's also an auto-naming option that does pretty much the bones, parent bones with Control P, either connected or keep offset, and you can unparent or disconnect bones with Alt P. If your model is symmetrical, usually set it to face project and center. Then when you're moving around, you can hold.
Okay, face project and center. Push pause for breakdown, pause pen blend to neighbor, calculate motion path, clear motion path. So let me guess, I have at the moment not a single bone that does anything. Parent. First index collection motion paths in range. Seen from I even have your VRM options. Select. What bone is that? Armature 002. Move to collection. Didn't work. Layout, edit mode. Layout. Animation. Colors. Huh. Blend to neighbor post breakdown. Wow, come on. I just want this thing to be so Blender attaching object to bone. Select your object, shift click. Okay. Keep transform? Automatic weights. Oh, nice, nice. Good. OP. Automatic weights. Oh, wait, I have to do something first. Join. Okay. Anyway, for that thing now. Yeah. Okay, I don't think this will work, but let's go to layout. Let's go to export. Let's export that as VRM file. On 02. Export as VRM. Make this one. Okay, apparently it doesn't work the way I want it to work. Oh no. Ah! Fill in between joints. Animation. Um. Update all. Wait. Update all motion paths. Of course, that doesn't work. Wait, if I'm going back to layout. I'm going to edit mode. I'm gonna say mode. Symmetrize, no. Snap, no. Extrude, duplicate, subdivide, delete selected bones, separate bones, split, make, parent. No keyframes to slide between. How do I fuse bones together again? Okay. How do I... pivot points? Okay, then how can I link you? Full scale rotate. P. Stage, follow track, damage track spine, child of, child of, object, bonfire, child of, armature, bone 5, apply. track. Track to armature on 5. Target local with parent. On your oriented. Pivot, target armature, bone 5. Good. Rotation range. Pivot offset. So pivot also doesn't work. Limit rotation. I don't know what I need. Inverse kinematic, damp track, clamp to. Object solver. Form constraint. Shrink wrap. To floor amateur action. How do I do this? That is very annoying. Bendy bones, rigify type. Bendy bones, relations, parent, connected. Okay, yeah. So relations. What if parenting? Okay, why can't I connect these two? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, here, I can't connect these two either. Can I connect you? No, I can't connect you either. Well, you know what? We're gonna save that for now. I at least hope you had fun. For I did have fun. And I hope to see you in the next stream. Video? Well, whenever you're watching this. Chilly.